In this video, I'm going to talk about the Bellemond removable paper screen protector for the iPad. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris Piascik. I've been an independent illustrator for the past 12 years. I've worked with clients like Cartoon Network, Google, Facebook, and tons more. On this channel, I talk about illustration stuff. Sometimes it's tips and tutorials, and sometimes it's reviews, like the one you're gonna watch today. So I've been drawing almost exclusively on an iPad for many, many years at this point, and I have used a lot of different iPad screen protectors. One of the things that I hate the most is putting on a new screen protector on my iPad.
There's dust. There's infinity dust.
Oh, we lost it. Shitty install. Currently on my iPad Pro 12.9, I am using the new updated Paperlike screen protector, which I did a review of. If you want to check out, I will link that below. And this is my second from the pack. The first one I had only used for a couple weeks, and then something happened where there was like a gouge in it, but it was annoying enough where it would catch my pencil tip and I had to take it off and replace it with something else. So I replaced it with the Bellemond Paper screen protector, which I also did a review of. So if you want to check out that one, there'll be a link below. This one I had mixed feelings about. The drawing experience was pretty good, but I just found it to be too rough. And it was so rough that it kind of obscured the screen a lot. And that's not really ideal, because one of the great things about the iPad is just how wonderful the screen is. And when you're making it that cloudy with a screen protector, it's less than ideal. Now, I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit for drawing feel because I'm using it to draw, and that's sort of the most important thing. But I also don't want to degrade my quality of image too much. Now, the new Paperlike screen protector sort of combats that, and they've made it much less intrusive in terms of how much it sort of clouds the screen. But by doing that, they've made it less enjoyable to draw on. And it also wears down really quickly. So if you draw a lot, when I look at mine, there's just so many fine scratches, and you can see it's got like shiny in the middle where it's just been worn down the most from where I've been drawing on it. So as I was saying, the last Bellemond, I didn't really love. I thought it was a little too aggressive. It seemed to wear down the Apple Pencil tips quite a bit, and that's not something that I really have had a problem with. I know a lot of people have asked me about how much does it wear the pencil tips. And I also discovered that you can get non-Apple pencil tips on Amazon that seem to be just as good. I actually did a video about those as well, which I will link below. So I also have an iPad mini that I use to take with me. So I draw on this a lot, but I don't draw as much as I do on the iPad Pro because that's the one that I mainly work on. But if I'm going somewhere, I'll take this with me, or sometimes I'll use it like if I'm sitting down at night on the couch or something like that. And on this one, I'm actually using the Paper Feel. And this one I think is pretty good. It's sort of like a middle ground between the aggressiveness of the Bellemond screen protector and the smoothness of the new Paperlike. All these names are very confusing. This is sort of like my favorite right now, I think. It feels very similar to the ones that I used to use back in the day, which were just like the generic, I think it was iCares, or I think even Tech Armor. They were just the matte screen protectors, and they had a good resistance for drawing. They were nothing special, and they were cheap. The Paperlike ones are pretty expensive. It's like 4 times the price of just like a generic one. So anyway, this screen protector that you're here to watch a video about is this new removable one, which I'm very curious about. I have been skeptical because it seems like it's hard enough to get these screen protectors on nice and straight and clean. Shitty install. So I don't know how it's going to be when you're using one that's removable that you can just pop on and off. I love the idea behind it because you can have a really nice Apple iPad display when you want it, but then when you're drawing, you can just pop the screen protector on and then draw and get that feeling. That's at least what I imagine it to be like, but I can't picture it being that easy to put on. So you're going to find out with me. I'm going to try it out with you guys. I didn't pay for this, but I'm going to be honest with you about it because this is not sponsored by Bellemond or anything like that. They just saw my other review of the Bellemond Paper and asked if they could send me one of these to try out. And I said yes, but I didn't agree to anything. They're not going to approve this video. So let's check it out. Let's see what's inside. One little baggie this time. This is the cleaning kit, which is interesting because it's like if I have to clean my iPad before I put it on there, but it's removable, am I supposed to be cleaning it every single time? I don't know. So they come in like a little folder. And then when I say they, I think it's just one. I was thinking 2 because I'm so used to these things coming in packs of 2. So it's really thick. It's much thicker than the regular ones. You can see it's got this texture to it, but it doesn't seem to mess with the quality too much. Can you still see me? And this is a very heavy duty folder that it comes in. I'm not sure why it's so heavy duty. And that's it. That's what's in here. There's no instruction, so I'm going to look on here and see if there is any. It says gently wipe the screen with the wet wipe and cloth. Remove dust from the screen using the dust removal sticker. Apply with the rough surface facing up. Press down on the black parts on both ends to make sure it absorb. It absorb is what it says on there. I wasn't being silly. All right, so I got my dust removal seal, which I believe is a dust removal sticker. I got wet wipe, and then a little baby cloth. And for some reason, in all the videos, I've been putting them on my shoulder. I'm not sure why. I got my iPad here. Actually, look at that. That's what my Paperlike screen protector looks like after about a month of use. So I'm taking this off because this is in need of being replaced. This thing is donezo. I can get it off. I always forget how like glassy and shiny the iPad is when there's nothing on it, because like I always have a screen protector on, even though it does interfere with the quality a little bit. Like I can't draw on the straight glass. And I tried the Pen Tips brand, like little rubber nibs, and I didn't like the feel of those. Though it does add some resistance, it's not the kind of resistance I like. It doesn't feel like paper or anything like that. It feels like rubber on glass. So that's not ideal to me. I did see that they have a new version. I don't know anything about that, but the original ones that just slip over the tip were not for me. I did a live stream, which is available to view after the fact, which I like talk about a bunch of different iPad drawing accessories that I've used. All right, so I'm cleaning this really good, but the thing is, if this is removable, what's gonna happen next time? Because I only have one wet wipe, and that wet wipe is gone. I'm supposed to just stick this on rough side up. The magnet strips stick out on the top, so I guess I'm just gonna try to line this up. I was expecting the magnets to like grab more aggressively. Oh, I guess they're pretty good now. I'm gonna do the knuckle slide test, which is a new test that I just made up, but I'm thinking I can use it to check the texture between this one and the, notice that sound? It feels very much the same as the paper feel that's on my iPad mini. Feels a little rougher than the, oh yeah, it's definitely rougher than the paper feel one. So the problem is there's like some dust that's like on the underside of it. It's a little staticky. So I guess the thing is, like, I guess there's gonna be dust underneath, but then you're just gonna like take it off. But like, what are you supposed to do with it? I guess that's what the folder's for. They've thought of everything. So I guess what you do is you carry it around in this folder, and then when you're done, you put it back in. For me, as someone who is going to be drawing on their iPad at all times, I'm not going to be taking it off and removing it. That's just not something that I'm going to do. It feels pretty good, but there's like, it's so subtle, but I can feel that separation where it's not like completely adhered to the screen like a traditional screen protector. The drawing feel is great. Like if you're someone who doesn't want to mess up the quality of their iPad screen, which I find extremely valid. The iPad screens are amazing, and it's one of their things that's, I don't want to say like one of their strong suits, because like I feel like there's so many other things that are amazing about the iPad. The screen quality is one. Listen, I'm not overthinking it. If you're bothered by that and you want to take off your screen protector on a regular basis, I think this makes sense. I think if you're not as crazy particular as I am, I think you might be okay with this, because I don't know. I think I could, if this was like what life was like, if this is just what was available and this was the screen protector and this is how screen protectors work, I could live a life that was happy drawing on this. Let's do what they say and try to pull it off and then put it back on. So it comes off nice and easy. That was nice. I guess this is a good time for me to recheck how I feel about drawing on the straight glass. I can't. I don't know how people like this. I mean, I guess I would get used to it. I'm just really, I don't know. I have sort of sensory issues where things like this can really get to me, like certain sounds and certain feels just I can't handle. and this is one of them. So I can't draw on the glass. I'm not doing that. Let's do a quick, put it back on. So it like wiggles. So I guess it's not that precise. So let's just get reminded of how nice. Yeah, so when you're drawing on a glass screen, then you slide this on, the drawing experience is improved tenfold. It is great. So coming to this from just a straight glass, like if I didn't have a cover on there and I got this, great, fantastic, huge improvement. Very happy with that. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch a movie on here. Take that off, I got a clean screen, it's good. So I would say this is a really great product for drawing on the iPad. It goes on nice and easily. It completely transforms the way it feels to draw on the iPad screen, and it comes off easy, it goes on easy. But as someone who draws on their iPad like all day, every day, I don't think this is for me because I want a more permanent setup. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of that feeling where it's not completely attached, and for me that is, I don't like that. So if I didn't have the choice, this would be great, but since I do have the choice, I would go with a traditional screen protector. Hope you found that useful. Good talk.